This is Frederica, here and now. Father Macarius, tell us, where are we?
We're at Holy Transfiguration Monastery. Got to remember how it does.
And this is in Bombala?
Bombala, New South Wales. Mm-hmm. It's basically between Sydney and Melbourne.
All right.
It's just 100 kilometres difference between either way.
Here we are at the beginning of September, and the weather is kind of like what it is the beginning of September in Baltimore, except
Really?
You're going the opposite direction. For us, it's getting colder, and for you, it's getting warmer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And I'm seeing daffodils and crocuses and things like that.
They're always the first to come up around here. Yeah.
So we're at the Holy Transfiguration Monastery. It's taken me a long time, but I have finally trapped a live Father Macarius, who has avoided wanting to be interviewed, but I think we're finally here. And, what all do you do here? You're the beekeeper.
I'm the beekeeper here. Originally started off as the gardener. I did that for 20 years, and then basically I've semi-retired, supposedly, and now I've moved off to be looking after the beekeeping as well as doing most of the maintenance work around the monastery, anything that breaks down.
I've been so impressed with the monastery. It's not like you have hundreds of monks, but you've got a huge kiln operation. We're up at the kiln right now.
Which Father Serge, the abbot, runs. Yes,
25 beehives, enormous greenhouses. You got your solar power running things. You drink water it's all rainwater. That's all the drinking water that you've got. Yeah. This is an enormous spread. What is it? 1,700 acres?
It's 1,200 acres. We started off with 900 acres, and one of the neighbours, who was a Russian family that had bought the property, they went bankrupt, and so we acquired that property off the bank, but we still allow the family to come down and use the property still. So it just gives us a bit more breathing space. Yeah. To move around.
It's beautiful. We're up in the hills. Is this a mountain? Are we in the mountains? Or?
We're actually on a plateau.
All right.
Between two mountain ranges, what we call the coastal mountains, which are referred to as Brown Mountain at this around this area, and off to the west of us is Kosciuszko Mountains, what we call the Snowy Mountains.
Snowy Mountains, that's right.
Yeah. And so the monastery itself is at 700 metres here.
That's the elevation.
That's the elevation here. Yeah. Some of our the biggest peak we have is only 950 metres high, which is the furthest peak, which we named Mount Horeb.
Good choice.
We've named things.
Mount Horeb.
Mount Horeb. Yeah.
You have the field of the 12 apostles.
That's right.
They just keep renaming everything.
Yeah, we have Kidron Valley.
Oh, good.
Which is the valley that goes right through virtually the whole middle of our property.
And the river is not the Snowy River, or is it?
No, this is the McLaughlin River, and it flows into the Snowy River about 16 kilometres downstream. It hits the Snowy.
So it's a beautiful and very unspoiled and pristine environment, and has all those animals that I've only seen in zoos before. Driving down the road and you have to wait for the kangaroo to get out of the way.
Yeah. No, we have quite a selection of animals here. Kangaroos, wallabies. They're mostly eastern grey kangaroos, so they're smaller than what we call the red kangaroos, which tend to be out western plains, the other side of the mountain range. They're the big reds. They get up to 2.5 metres, whereas most of these kangaroos are only just hitting 2 metres. Some of the males.
I think we saw a black wallaby on the way
here. Yes,
here.
definitely a lot of black wallabies, and we've got the what we call the redneck wallaby. They're abounding in numbers now. They're coming back. There used to be only a few around. Now there's quite a few.
And I didn't tell you, when we were driving up to the monastery, on the road there was an emu.
Oh, really?
With a black grey.
Yes. No,
so gawky.
We originally got the first emu came here in 98. that was during a drought period here, and the Snowy River was nearly dried up, and we believe that some of the emus, we noticed an emu and a female and a little chick wandering down our road just over here. And since then, there are now, as far as I can recollect, last summer there was 5 breeding pairs.
Oh, good.
And each had ranging from 3 chicks to I think the biggest group was 8 chicks. So they're multiplying in the area. They soon might become a pest. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. They're so gawky looking.
Yes, they are, but they run very fast.
They do. But she didn't want to get out of the road, so we
had
to
really?
go behind her very slowly. It would have been very easy for her to just jump into the woods and go to the side, but she just liked the road, I guess.
Yeah. They
thought
prefer.
she could outrun
Well,
us.
it's unusual for them to be here because they prefer open country.
Really?
Yeah, rather than bushland. But because of the drought for the last 15 years we've had, the bush has literally thinned out quite a lot. I've never, since I've been here since '86, and I've never seen it so thin. And a lot of the locals that I've spoken to all don't recall anything this bad ever.
And then you had the flood last March. Now.
Well, yeah, now we're back into the flooding period. A wet period here, so that's been good. The last two years we've actually had the McLaughlin River running for 2 years.
And it's not always running, and
no,
just
it's
be
not
a dry riverbed.
Well, it used to always run before, but since the 15 years of drought, it dried up every summer. But this is last 2 years is the first time that it's kept going during summer as well as winter. So we're pretty pleased about that. Which means the trout will come back.
Oh, good. Good.
We're hoping that we have brown trout, and we also the platypus have picked up too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have lots of platypus here. Actually, McLaughlin's famous because it has the most number of platypus in the area.
They're such funny creatures.
They are. They certainly are.
There's an American cartoon show for children called Phineas and Ferb, but they have a pet platypus.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
his name Perry the Platypus.
Okay.
And he is actually a secret agent. He's a spy. But they don't know that. They think he's just a pet platypus.
Pet platypus, okay. Good cover. Yeah, no one would suspect that.
Nobody would suspect that. So where are you from? Are you from this area?
No, originally I was born and raised in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a convert. I used to be in Church of England before, which is like Anglican or Episcopalian.
Episcopalian in the U.S.
In the US. Yeah. And that was only because my parents lived virtually at the back of the Episcopalian church.
Oh, really?
So it was just hop over the fence and we went to church. It was simple as that.
And was it a pious household? Did your parents?
No, definitely not. No, my father was basically raised as a Catholic, I believe. He went to Catholic school certainly, but his father was, or his mother was Catholic, but my grandmother was Catholic, but his father, I think, was non-religious. But they just happened to go to Catholic school. My uncle, my father's brother, is definitely Catholic. He remained Catholic, although he's disillusioned now. But they certainly, so that side of the family are mostly Catholic. And my mother was, her mother was Catholic, but she changed to, when she got married in the 1920s, she became Methodist. That's what my grandfather was, and basically they become non-religious. So my father at the moment is an atheist. He says,
really?
He says so himself.
How old is he now?
He just turned 80, a couple of months ago.
Wow.
So I went down for his 80th birthday.
And he's decided he's an atheist.
He
says
been an atheist for quite a while.
Really?
Yeah. No, we used to have some decent arguments. Maybe not so decent. They were shouting matches.
Oh.
Would have been a better word for it. But yes.
So did you Did you have to convert to Christianity, or you remained a Christian? You
I
converted to
basically
Orthodoxy?
remained a Christian. I've always thought I was a Christian, or regarded myself as a Christian. But I, even at an early age, I had wanted to become a monastic.
Oh, really?
And I knew I wanted to become a hermit.
And the Episcopal Church or the Anglican Church doesn't
the Anglican
really
Church
have
didn't
that.
have anything.
No.
Well, not that I knew of. I found out years later that there is actually an Anglican monasticism about what is it, 60 kilometres or 60 mile. Yeah, it's about 60 miles outside of Melbourne. There's an Anglican
There are some monasteries
out there. So,
Yeah.
but
I don't know if there are any hermits.
I didn't know. I didn't know it existed. So I was already looking at some sort of monastic lifestyle, and I just basically started looking around. Probably, by the time I was 18, I started to look in a serious way of where I could go. I was looking at Buddhism.
Really?
Yeah, well, as a monastic, that's what I knew about. Monastics was either Catholicism or Buddhism. And I was looking at, there was a Carthusian monastery, which I thought was quite strict enough. I liked the idea of the strictness.
Yeah.
Well, it appealed to me then. Probably not so much now, but it certainly appealed to me then. And so I was tossing between those two, and even playing around with, well, not playing around, but looking at Judaism too, because we lived in a Jewish neighbourhood. All our neighbours were all Jewish all around us, and we used to go to their Yom Kippurs and all that kind of thing, and be involved with the kids, the local kids type of thing. But I was fortunate that I had a girl I knew at high school. I was used to be quite good friends with her, and eventually when she got married, I went to her wedding, and that's how I got involved with with Orthodoxy.
So she had an Orthodox wedding.
She's Russian Orthodox.
Ah.
She was Russian Orthodox. And when she got married, I was invited to the wedding. Went along to the wedding. I was fascinated with the service because it seemed to have meaning, even though I didn't understand. It was all in Slavonic.
Really?
I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody was telling me bits and pieces, because I think I might have had her sister next door to me, because I knew I had known her sister, who also went to the same high school. It wasn't until after that I started getting more involved with going to church with them on occasions. It was funny because I used to hide from my parents. My parents didn't know for about a year and a half that I was
Really?
going to church. I would tell them I'm going down to the pub, or going to visit some friends, or going out somewhere to a movie or something like that. And I would then go off to church for about whatever time it took, and then this was on Saturday nights, and then made sure that I went to that person's place that afterwards.
So it was not a lie.
It wasn't a lie, but it was sneaky. I'll admit that.
And you think if they'd known that you were going to church, they would have argued.
They
would
have argued, because they had brought my sister. There's only my sister and I. They had brought us up as being very wary of different sects.
Being suspicious of
very
religion.
Suspicious of religion as a whole. My mother believes in God, but just as a general system, nothing.
Not any God with a name.
No God with a
but...
name. God, Buddhism or Catholicism, Orthodoxy, Islam. It's all the same as far as she's concerned. It's the same God.
What in the world fascinated you in the wedding service, though you could hardly understand what they were saying?
It was just the whole ritual service of it.
Beauty of it.
The beauty of it.
Yeah.
It seemed to have meaning. I then went along, after they came back from their honeymoon, I went along to visit them, see how they were going, and they were actually happened to be going to church, so I went along that evening.
So you
because
went
it was a
to
Saturday night, so I went along to the
Vespers,
service.
Vigil, yeah.
To the vigil, and still didn't understand what was going on. But it seemed to have some sort of meaning. I'm not sure what, pricked me because it's been such a long time now. But yeah, it seemed to have some sort of meaning for me. And so I kept going. Actually, they actually stopped going to church. It was interesting because they didn't go to church all the time. And unfortunately, the priest who was there, Father Vladimir, he was killed in a car accident a few months after I started going to church. So it then became a system of 3 different priests from Sydney who were rotating to come down once every 3 weeks. Would come down.
It's hard on a congregation to have that.
It was because it was soon after that the Bishop Theodosi died as well. He died about I think a month after. So because there was no bishop to ordain a new priest, things just got caught up with nothing was being done, literally.
Right.
And it virtually took them almost a year before they actually sent a priest.
Really?
They got a bishop, I think, about 6 months later, and then it was a priest. Bishop Pavel came, and then Father Nicholas Karpov, who's the current priest down in Melbourne, he was finally came the week after I was baptised.
So this was Holy Protection Cathedral? Is that the parish?
Yes, that's right.
I spoke there on Saturday.
Right, yeah.
I loved it. It's such a beautiful building. It's just
This is the one in
amazing.
Brunswick, or?
It's in Melbourne, but I don't know.
Yeah,
What's the Holy Protection Cathedral?
It's the Brunswick Church, whereas the original, well, they were renting an Anglican church in Oxford Street in Collingwood originally. That's where I started off there.
So you were pretty much self-motivated, it sounds like. Nobody was preaching orthodoxy to you.
No one preached to me in orthodoxy. And then I happened to, after about 6 months, I kept on going to church. The girl that I knew that I'd been to the wedding to, she and her husband stopped going to church because there was a constant flow of different priests all the time.
Yeah.
I suppose they weren't interested, or they had other things to do. And then I just happened to decide, about the 6 month period, I was deciding whether I should stay or go. And I sort of went along I thought I'll give it a couple more goes, so, going to church. At this stage, my parents still didn't know. And I eventually, one night I'd gone to church, and after church had finished, I was thinking, well, maybe I won't be coming back again. And I'd always sort of prayed mentally, for God to help me, God to show me which way to go. And eventually, the now Martushka Elizabeth, I don't know if you met her.
Wait.
Father Nicholas Delinkovich and this Father Nicholas Karpov. He's the senior priest. Father Nick Delink is the second in charge.
Yes, I don't think I met her.
Him. Okay.
It all runs together.
She came out, and she wasn't a Martushka there. He wasn't a priest at the time. And she came out and spoke to me in Russian, and I said, look, I'm sorry, I don't speak Russian. And she goes, oh, you're not Russian? I said, no. She goes, oh, we thought you were Russian from Sydney. And I thought to myself, boy, these Russians from Sydney, they must be pretty bad. No one talks to them. Because everyone had known I'd been going to church.
They've just written you off as
they
those
just
Russians
written me
from
as a
Sydney.
Russian from Sydney.
Ignore them and it'll go away.
Yeah, so after that, well, she then explained to me that she needed a hand to shift a baptismal font out for somebody who's getting baptized, and after the service she would introduce me to the priest there, and the priest happened to be Father Alex, who was the beginning of this monastery. So he was on his rotation, this 3-week rotation system, and that happened to be his week. So I was introduced to, after the baptism, I was introduced to him, and Ina's sister was there. Oh yeah, Lucy. And so we as far as my recollection goes, we sat until I think about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, talking about what my life and monasticism, what Father Alex thought about monasticism and how it works in the Orthodox Church. And I was totally fascinated by this stage. And so then I started making sure I always turned up to church whenever Father Alex came down on his rotation system.
About how long ago was this?
This is back in, I think Father Vadim was killed in 1980, so this would have been, towards the end of, middle of 80. Well, he's June he was killed, July. I think it was July. So it would have been, it would have been
30-something years.
Yeah, it would have been. It was definitely towards the end of October, November before I was introduced to Father Alex.
And so he had the idea for the monastery for.
He'd already been thinking about establishing a monastery then. So I then started coming to church, talking to him. And it was the following Easter I was baptized.
You hadn't been baptized?
No, I hadn't even been baptized. So I was baptized the following Easter on on what they call Easter Saturday, isn't it? I think it is the day before
Holy
before
Saturday.
Pascha. Yeah, Holy Saturday. And then the following weekend was when Father Nick Karapov was on Thomas Sunday. He was introduced to the parish for the first time.
Assigned as the new pastor.
Assigned as the new pastor, yeah. So Father Alex was supposed to baptize me, but it happened to be a strike in everything, on everything that weekend. From the beer was on strike, the petrol was on strike, planes were on strike, trains were on strike. So Father Alex couldn't get down for the Easter to rotate with Father Nicholas Gunn, who's since retired. And so Father Nicholas Gunn baptised me.
As long as it was done, that was the important thing.
I was done, yes, definitely. So it was a full baptism, because as far as I could remember, in the Anglican Church, they only christened
just
by
do the
sprinkling of the water. And then from that time on, Father Alex still came down every now and then, but I would generally start to go up to Sydney more often, and we'd start to look around for properties to buy. And he was mostly looking. I would be suggesting down in Gippsland, Victoria, because I knew the area better, but he was looking more up towards Sydney and in this area as well. We looked at a number of properties, and then basically he was getting depressed about it. So he rang his spiritual father, which was Father Vladimir in Jordanville.
In the U.S.
In the U.S. And Father Vladimir said, "Look, don't worry. The Mother of God will tell you when and where to buy. And leave it in the Mother of God's hands." So Father Alex left it in the hands of the Mother of God. And then on the 22nd of September, which was the Day of Nativity, he got a phone call from the real estate agent in the area, whom we know quite well now, and he said, "I've got this property for sale. It's 900 acres. It has river frontage. It has this, that, and the other." And Father Alex said, "I'll buy it." And the real estate said,
"How much is it?"
Real estate said, "What do you mean you buy it? You haven't even seen it yet." And he panicked. The real estate panicked, and so he rang up the bloke who had given him Father Alex's phone number, because he never heard of Father Alex before, and it happened to be Father Serge's father. Had told him that if any properties for sale in this area with this sort of attributes, he was to ring up this number, and this person would probably be very interested in buying the property. And so the real estate agent, Tom, rang up Father Serge's father and said, "Look, who is this guy? He hasn't seen the property. He's going to buy it, And Father Genna, that was Father Serge's father's name, Genna explained to him, Tom, that who he was, that he was an Orthodox priest, and that he wanted to build a monastery. And Tom relaxed completely. He was okay with it because Tom happened to have been an ex-British serviceman who was stationed in Cyprus. And so he knew all about the Orthodox Church.
And even monasticism.
And monasticism
right.
from this time. He did 10 years service in Cyprus, in
so
the
great.
peacekeeping forces there. So he knew all about monasticism.
The Mother of God can arrange all these things.
So it was all arranged.
Yeah.
So we came down, I think about 2 weeks after that, we came down and looked at the property, and Father Alex, we came from that end actually, and Father Alex was looking at it and we're going, he didn't like it at all, because it happened to be the end of a 7-year cycle drought. That was in 81, that's right. No, it was in 82, that's when it was, 82. The end of the 7-year cycle, and everything was dry looking. He didn't like it. He was just looking around going, oh, what have I got myself into? And I'm going, yeah, this is good. I can do that. I can build with this.
You saw
I
the
saw
potential.
the potential, because I wanted to build. We had planned originally to build out of stone. And so we were looking for spots around the stone. We'd gone up some of the gullies, so we knew. I knew what sort of stone to build with, so that was all right. Anyway, so, and then it was, when was it? It was a month, that was in September, and at the middle of October, almost a month later, on the 20th of October, I received notice from where I was working. I was working as a fitter and turner in my uncle's factory, who got me the job in the first place. And they were closing down the factory. They were retrenching everybody, but they would rehire everybody in 6 months' time after they reworked the workshop, basically. And so he decided that they sack everybody. They can then go on benefits. But they would get their job in 6 months' time when they reopen. Right. They can get their job back, no problems. And so
I should say this, it's wild cockatoos. Yes. I'm seeing flocks of beautiful white birds with very ugly cries.
Real screeches.
It's sunset and they're arguing about who gets to sleep in which bedroom.
That's right.
Overnight.
Which tree branch.
Yeah. So you did end up buying the property then?
We did. Oh yeah, we definitely bought the property. It was bought, and then I took off for America, to Jordanville, because the day I got sacked on the Thursday, and I got a letter from Jordanville saying you can, when you're ready, because I applied early, not meaning to go in 85, not in 82, going in 85 to study in over there in Jordanville to do a theological degree, and then. So once I got the letter from the theological school saying that I was accepted, I rang up Father Alex and I explained to him what had happened the day before, being sacked, and then getting the letter from Jordanville. And he was saying, "Okay, it looks like it's time for you to go." So I went off to Jordanville for
God's
3 years,
timing.
and then came back at the end of 85, and basically have been living down here since 86.
Ever since.
I became a novice. Once I spent the first year in Jordanville, I decided that monasticism was what I definitely wanted to do.
Definitely, yeah.
And that was my lifestyle that I wanted to pursue, and so I became a monk, a novice in Jordanville. Where I told Frederica that I would leave. I wasn't going to stay in Jordanville, but he accepted me anyway, which was good.
That's nice. So you got to start. I got
to start.
Begin as a
I got to start so that if at the end of the almost 2 years after, 1.5 years that I stayed in Jordanville to finish the seminary, I would at least have an idea of monasticism and services and how it all worked out, how it was supposed to have been run. It changed a lot since I got here. Monasticism is quite different from an institutional monasticism that they have in Jordanville. It's run slightly on different lines here, but nevertheless, it gave me an idea.
This is a
of
small
what to
community of a
expect.
dozen
Yeah,
or so.
it's a small community. I mean, we have room to make it a larger community. We immediately built 9 rooms so that we could expand. But basically, for the first year I was here, I was by myself. I was between here and Cabramatta because Father Alex was still parish priest. He was a parish priest in Cabramatta.
So you were pretty much here by yourself. And
Pretty much. Usually I'd come down here, stay a couple of weeks, helping to build the monastery, and then go back to Sydney, to Cabramatta, and for church services, communion, and then come back down with more material. The longest period I stayed here by myself without seeing anybody was 3 months. And I'd almost forgotten how to talk. It was great. Because I had trouble trying to think of what I needed when I got into town to Bombala to buy stuff.
couldn't remember the names
I couldn't remember
apple.
Well, I couldn't remember how
broom
to have a conversation or whatever. I found that rather amusing.
You must have been cut out for being a hermit, not only a monk.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely wanted to be a hermit. So there was no problems.
And this is very, very remote. I don't know how many miles of it was just dirt track and a lot of bouncing and bouncing.
Actually, the last, I think, only... it's already 5.
Oh, 5:30, 5:34. That's the Vespers bell, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
We probably
Should go.
We probably should. Father, do you want to say anything in conclusion?
No, I'm fine.
Well, thanks so much. This is Frederica Mathewes-Green. You can reach me through my website, frederica.com. And transcripts of these podcasts are gradually being posted there as well. My speaking calendar is handled by orthodoxspeakers.com.